Mega Audino is finally coming to Pokemon GO through a Mega Raid Day, and in my opinion, this is actually looking to be a lot of fun, personally. But I could totally understand why there's plenty of players out there who just feel very uninterested in this Raid Day, and I totally understand why. And I'm going to be going over all of that in today's video, so let's get right into it. Alright, what's happening everyone? Count Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon GO video, and I hope your day is going really well, and let's get right into it. Alright, so Mega Audino. This is going to be a brand new Mega Evolution, and it's finally coming to Pokemon GO, and it's going to be through a Mega Raid Day. And personally, I feel like this one is a Mega Evolution that I've been personally wanting for a very long time, and the reason for that is because Audino, in my opinion, is one of the cooler Pokemon that are out there. Even though it may not have any kind of gameplay relevance, I like the design of this particular Mega Evolution. And then on top of that, Audino itself does give you a lot of Stardust, so having a raid day featuring this Pokemon is a great way for all of us to get a whole bunch of Stardust in the game. And I really do think that for a lot of players, simply because Mega Audino does not have any kind of gameplay significance, they're just completely ignoring this particular raid day. I totally understand that sentiment. I mean, we're getting Mega Absol raid day later this month, and I think a lot of players simply do not care about that. But at least for this particular raid day, it's going to be for a new Mega Evolution, and yes, you're going to be able to get a lot more Stardust than you typically would. But yeah, to better understand how players are feeling, let's actually go over all the details for this Mega Raid Day, and then afterwards, let me share my own thoughts. Mega Audino Raid Day is going to be happening on April 5th from 2 o'clock p.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. local time. The featured Pokemon is, of course, going to be Mega Audino, which is going to be making its debut in the game through this event. And then during this event, we're going to have the following event bonuses, and they're pretty typical for raid days. You're going to get 5 additional raid passes when you spin gym photo discs for 6 free raid passes in total, and then you're going to have an increased chance at getting shiny Audino from raids, and then the remote raid pass limit is going to be increased to 20. There's also going to be a timed research which is going to award you with 10,000 Stardust, as well as 1,000 additional Stardust when you complete raid battles. With this timed research and the 5 free bonus raids, you're essentially going to get yourself a lot of Stardust out of this event. And the reason why I say that is because Audino does give you a lot of bonus Stardust when you catch it. Now, considering that this is a raid day, they're also going to be including a paid ticket, and when you purchase it, you're going to get 8 additional raid passes from spinning gym photo discs, which will lead to a total of 14 for that day, and then you're going to have an increased chance to get Rare Candy XL from raid battles. And then you're also going to get 50 times more experience from completing raid battles, and also double the amount of Stardust rewards from completing raid battles. Do keep in mind that this 2x Stardust reward is not going to be applied to the catch Stardust from getting Audinos from these raids. So yeah, is this raid day worth you buying a whole bunch of passes and going all out? Probably not. Maybe at the very least, you should try to get yourself at least enough energy to Mega Evolve an Audino just once so that you can get the Pokedex entry. But the beauty of this raid day does not necessarily rely on the Mega Evolution itself. It's actually going to be the Pokemon that it features. Audino is one of those Pokemon that gives you a ton of bonus Stardust when you catch it. That's something that a lot of players may not necessarily realize because Audino is a super rare Pokemon. You just do not often see this Pokemon in the wild. But every time you do see it in the wild, you should definitely try to catch it because you get a ton of Stardust out of it. I think it gives you the most Stardust out of a single catch. So for a raid day, that's a whole bunch of Audinos that you can catch. If you pop a star piece and do a whole bunch of these raids, you're going to net yourself a lot of Stardust and a lot of the other resources that you get from raid battles, like raspberries and revives, as well as rare candies. So overall, I think it would be a huge win for you to actually participate during this raid day. And then on top of that, Audino's shiny form is one of the rarest shinies in the game. It's one of those that not a lot of players will have. I think the only time you really have a good shot at getting yourself a shiny Audino is whenever it is featured in a special event, like Pokemon Go Fest. But outside of that, it's extremely rare for you to come across this shiny. but I do think that with this raid day, it's going to give you the absolute best odds, and it's only going to be for that particular raid day. So I do think because of that, it is definitely worth doing a bunch of these raids just so you can pick up those shinies. And then on top of that, you're going to be getting a whole bunch of Mega Energy for the Mega Evolution, and then you're also going to be getting a bunch of rare candies and Stardust, and I think that's very important. These are all resources that you need in order to get ahead in Pokemon Go. You need Stardust to power up your raid Pokemon, or you need Stardust to get some Pokemon ready for PvP. So overall, I think it is the most important resource, and anytime Niantic throws an event where you could get a whole bunch of it, I really do think it's worth your time and investment. So yeah, I do think that this is one of those raid days that you should not skip, even though the Pokemon is not relevant. You're never going to use Mega Audino, and I just really do not think this Mega Evolution is any good. But aside from that, there are a lot of perks for doing these raids during this raid day. And don't forget, you do get 5 free raids on this raid day, and you should definitely spend those on these Mega Audinos. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. I know there's a lot of players out there who are just feeling very meh about this raid day, and that's totally understandable. I think a lot of players tend to just focus on whatever Pokemon is going to be good for raid battles, or is going to be good for PvP. And Audino, unfortunately, does not fit that bill, so I think a lot of players are planning to skip this out. But I think that is a huge mistake. You should at least do those 5 free raids and get yourself enough Mega Energy for the Pokedex entry, and maybe you could call it quits after that. In any case, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts regarding everything that I talked about down below. Are you looking forward to Mega Audino raid day, or just like a lot of players out there, you just feel like this is definitely one you're going to skip? Definitely share your reasons for thinking that down below, and let's have a great discussion. And thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. If you ended up enjoying it, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here. And also don't forget that little bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. Real quick, let me give a shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support the Jinsula channel, the absolute best way you could do that is going to be by joining my Patreon. And if you become a paid Patreon member, you will get a spot on my Pokemon Go friends list. So that means for stuff like remote raids, opening and sending gifts, different things like that. If you want to play Pokemon Go with me, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. And if you want to support my channel in a completely different way, you can do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula. I'm on the platforms that you see on the bottom of your screen. Make sure you go over there and give me a follow, and that will be a huge help to me. And yeah, with all that said, that's going to be it for this video. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, and love yourself today, and I'll catch you all later.